I've done over 100 cold approaches, and I've coached men all around the world on approaching women and also dating. And I've seen a lot of terrible advice. I've had them come to me and say, I worked with somebody else before you, and it was the worst advice I've ever heard in my entire life. And then we change their system, and then we change how they operate, and they get way better results. But I want to rank to you some of the worst lies and some of the worst advice I've ever heard in my entire life when it comes to approaching. Because I've been out there in the field, I've done over 100, I coach men all around the world, and I'll tell you why these are not going to convert, why this is not going to work at all. Lie number one, you need to have 10 minutes plus to build rapport. I hate this lie because it operates under the premise that we need to have this massive audition, this massive performance. We need to essentially turn it into a first date. If I'm talking to a girl for 10, 20 minutes, that is a coffee date. That is an insane amount of time. And it works under the premise that, well, women need more time to build rapport and to open up and to feel comfort. Yeah, if you suck at talking to women, if you're terrible at talking to women, you might need way longer than somebody that knows what they're doing to build intrigue and spark, etc. There's also zero element of mystery and unpredictability when you spend so much time talking to a woman. This is true on text. This is true on dates. The more information you tell them, you will get them over the hump of interest and it will start to plummet. Because if they're not in the dark, if their mind isn't running, if they're not having to use imagination because they have to worry about things and about you and who you are, there's no tension. When there's no tension, there's no desire. When they know everything, there is zero desire. You do not need 10 plus minutes to build rapport. The average length of my approach is probably around 2 minutes long. That's it. That's all I need. Sometimes less than that. Because if I'm not going to convert to an insta date, which I never do, and maybe I'll talk about it. I don't know if it's on the board, but I can talk about it. What is the point? Get in, get out. Spike emotion, spike interest, spike desire. In 2 minutes, you can talk about a lot. You can ask a lot of questions, you can tease, you can make fun, you can convert, you can close. Think about all the content I'm literally telling you in the first 2 minutes of this video. That's all you need. 10 minutes plus is insane. And honestly, they're going to look at you like you're just wandering around and you have nothing better to do. Wow, this guy was in the middle of his busy life and he could just stand here and talk to you for 20 minutes. He must be really fucking bored. He must really have nothing to do with his life. All of that frame is disgusting to women. Keep it short. Lie number two. This one might piss me off the most. Be direct. Okay, what do I mean by be direct? What I mean by be direct is a lot of dating people on the internet say, you need to go up to a woman and say, I thought you were so beautiful. I thought you were so attractive. I had to come up and talk to you. What's your name? That is what I think being direct is. That is what that means. You lead with a compliment. You lead with very direct, transparent intent of the interaction. Here's why this is a catastrophic mistake. You need to understand, I don't care where you are, where this approach is happening, who this woman is. How you start the approach will determine the perceived context of the interaction. This is life itself. For example, the perceived context of me right now is that I am in my house making a video. So I'm projecting my voice, I'm using my hands, I'm using my body language to communicate very strongly, in a very masculine way, because I'm making a video and I want to pierce your subconscious mind. The context is I'm in my house alone, in my private residency. Now, if the context were to change, and now I'm outside in the street, do you think I would have the same body language, the same tonality, the same projection? Of course not, because the context of the situation determines someone's behavior. This is fundamental across life, but especially with women. And if you go up to a woman very directly, very just spilling your guts, oh my God, you're so attractive. Hi, I had to say something to you. What does it do to the context in her mind about this interaction? Well, she knows immediately you like her and immediately she feels like you're hitting on her. What does that do? Increases anxiety, decreases comfort. It puts her on guard. It makes her put a wall up. Oh shit, I'm getting hit on. Oh my God. She now feels the need to make a decision whether to reject you or not to reject you or to put up a little show. She now feels the need to wear a mask immediately because you created the context in her mind by being so damn direct that this is a pickup. This is a pickup. That causes anxiety. It now distorts the entire context of how she perceives the interaction in the most negative way possible. The only times this will work, and it's going to happen very, 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 very rarely, is if you're way more attractive than she is physically. That's it. And she's horny and ovulating, which is rare. All this is very, very rare. Especially if you want to go up to attractive women, you need to make sure that the context you give them in their mind about this interaction is relaxing and disarming and low anxiety. You do the exact opposite by being a direct maniac. Number 3, you have to lead with a creative open or pickup line. It's another thing I see on the internet. You need to have this creative copy and paste. Oh, you know why I stopped you? Oh, because this, that, or some gay ass pickup line about, oh, does your head hurt from falling from heaven or some dumb shit? Okay, you know what this makes her feel subconsciously? This guy's below me. Why on earth would he have to try so hard with some cheesy pickup line if this guy was better than me? You go against nature when you sound gay as shit with a opener that is dumb. With some copy and paste, corny, cheesy hack or gimmick, you sound like a goddamn loser. You sound like somebody that literally never gets women, ever. Also going against hypergamy, pre-selection, and nature. Women need guys that have other women. Do you think a guy that has a ton of women is going to need to go up to a woman and literally put on this like dancing performative show with this funny, goofy pickup line? Absolutely not. Literally, it would never cross their mind in their entire life. It screams in a woman's mind, this guy gets no women. He must be nervous. He must not do this a lot. He must go on the internet and think, how can I be better with women? What are some pickup lines? That is literally the processing that goes on internally in a woman in milliseconds when you lead with some creative opener or pickup line. We're going against nature. Women only want guys that are better than them. Talk to them like that is the case. Talk to them like they're disposable and like it means nothing. You go against nature when you have this gimmicky pickup line and this dumbass opener, and they're going to look at you like a fucking clown. Because that is how you appear. Oh, did your head hurt? Dude, put on the red nose, sit your ass fucking down, listen to the real game. Line number 4. You only should go for the number. I hate this lie. Here's the reason. I'm in and I'm out. My entire strategy with approaching is to be incredibly efficient. Again, I'm not sitting here for 10 minutes because then I look like a bum. This guy's nothing to do. No, I do have shit to do. Okay, I do have shit to do. I am busy, and be happy I stopped for two fucking minutes to talk to you. Now, with that being the case, I also want to remember this girl and I want to vet her out. Now, there's going to be a lot of discussion around this. A lot of people say, well, she doesn't give you the number. She's not really interested. I've hooked up with girls the same day, not getting their number. Okay, so that's a lie. I've experienced it firsthand. Not like go on a date. I mean, literally hook up with them, not from number, from Instagram. I go to social media because 1, I want to vet more of them. 2, I want to build up more trust, comfort, and certainty after the interaction because they're going to look me up and they're going to fall back and see, oh, he has good images. Oh, he has a life. He's normal. Okay, I feel way better about ever talking to him again. Versus a random stranger come up to them for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever the case is, or worse, 20, and then they never see a picture of him ever again. And now he's just distilled to a number on his screen. Hi, this is Tom. She already forgot what you looked like. She forgot everything. And now you're just a random number. With images and with all of this built in, there's more certainty. She remembers more. And the lie that if she doesn't give you the number, she's not interested is insane. To be fair, I don't even ask in the first place. So it's not like I'm getting rejected for a number that I'm like, okay, well then give me your Instagram. No, I just go for IG. Okay? Massive lie. Completely unnecessary. Number 5, wait for choosing signals before approaching. This one is going to lead you to failure so often because you're going to be hesitant and timid and like waiting for them to choose. Don't get me wrong. It's great when you get a choosy signal. Then it's very obvious and transparent. But what about all the women that didn't see you or on their phone that would actually want you if they were looking up? But they weren't. You're just going to ignore them. You're going to pass on all of them. You're going to sit timidly and just stand there and be like, just looking at everyone, waiting for eye contact. You're insane. Most of the time, they won't see you. Most of the time, life is in the way. Maybe they're on the phone. Maybe they're texting. Maybe they're looking down. There's so many variables here. Maybe they're just looking that way when you're walking by. Who cares? Do not wait for a choosing signal. You're cutting your opportunities by like 80%. 80% of your opportunities gone immediately because you're depending on a woman to be aware of her surroundings. Do you see how stupid that is? They don't know what's going on. and you're depending your volume and your opportunities on them to see you, don't. Go. You see an attractive girl, I don't care if she looked at you or not, go. Make the move. Who cares? You can warm them up and calm them down and get them up to speed regardless if she looked at you. Number 6, stop her in her tracks and just start talking to her. This is one of the worst pieces of advice I've ever heard in my entire life. I have a one-on-one client, and before he started working with me, he went and worked with somebody in New York City to do some approaches. This guy told him, you want to stop a girl in their tracks as they're walking by you and start talking to them. Here's why I hate this. Now, I want to preface, you do need to obviously stop them to talk to them. But the caveat is you don't just literally move your entire body in front of them and stop them from walking and start talking to them. That's insane. That's aggressive. What do you think that does to her perceived context of the environment and situation? What if someone did that to you? Like, whoa, the fuck? What are you stopping me for? Do I know you? Like relax. It's a high anxiety move and it makes no sense. This is typical advice from somebody trying to be fake masculine. Whoever this coach was that told my client this is trying to be fake masculine. He's thinking, well, you really show her that you're a man and that you know what you want when you stop her in your tracks and you really do that. Relax, okay? That's not how you show you're masculine. You don't have to become a fucking traffic cone right in front of them to be masculine, okay? It's just gonna make them uncomfortable, increase anxiety, and get a terrible response no matter what you say, because now you put them in a terrible state because of your body language. Don't do that. If a woman's walking by you, stop them at an angle. Keep the path open. You don't become a cinder block in the road and be like, you're beautiful, hello, how are you? Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. What you'll notice is the approaches and the strategy that I implement is all psychological based, emotional based. This is all primal, okay? There's no hacks, there's no gimmicks. This is exactly what I coach for texting or for approaching or for dates. It's all based on psychology, emotions, primal needs and desires. And obviously, if you stop a girl like a cinder block and you get right in front of her, what are you doing on a psychological and emotional level? It's all going to shit. And no matter what you look like and how you approach her, it's going to go 1,000 times worse than if you do approaches and have nonverbal and verbal communication based on lowering anxiety, increasing comfort, having a pleasant, great conversation. It's that simple. If you want to learn more about my system, how I teach guys to approach, and how I coach guys one-on-one, click the links below. I'll see you in the next video.